I now give the floor to Mrs. Adrienne Diop from the Economic Community of West African States. Mrs. Diop is Commissioner at the ECOWAS Commission. Mrs. Diop, you have the floor.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that the delegation of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, presents a statement at this fourth session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction. As you are aware, during the past 3 years, West Africa region have had its own share in the current global trends of natural and human-induced disasters over the last decades. Disasters emanating from hydrological and climatology hazards such as floods, coastal erosions, and drought, among others, have resulted in loss of lives and caused destructions of basic infrastructures, disruption of livelihoods in coastal areas, urban cities, and communities in our region. The West African region has also been categorized as having one of the fastest growing population and the most rapid rate of urbanization in the world. With such a high rate of population growth and urbanization rates, the region is exposed to more risk disaster due to lack of efficient accompanying measures to the fast pace of development and planning in the areas of healthcare, adequate housing, and educational infrastructure. The struggle for scarce resources amongst various groups, as well as the ethnic and cultural diversities existing in our member states, poses a strong risk to conflicts. In many cases, this has generated internal displacement of population and refugee situation across neighboring countries in the region. The current situation in Mali and in the entire Sahel region serve as a living example of the kind of humanitarian crisis situation that have been described. Disaster risk reduction is a cross-cutting and complex developmental issue that requires political, legal, and budgetary financial commitments, including public understanding, scientific knowledge, and careful development planning. It also calls for enforcement of policies and legislations and people-centered early warning systems and effective disaster prevention, preparedness, mitigation, and response mechanism. In order to play a key role in reducing the vulnerability of West African people and communities, a number of major activities have been undertaken at the regional and national level through the implementation of programs under the ECOWAS Policy on Disaster Risk Reduction adopted by ECOWAS Head of States in 2007. The ECOWAS Humanitarian Policy and Emergency Relief Mechanism has also been put in place in 2012 to support countries affected by man-made or natural disasters. In this regard, the Commission has endeavored to provide substantial and financial support and also technical assistance in strengthening existing coordination mechanisms and building resilience in the region. The ECOWAS Commission has also helped many member states to establish and strengthen their national platforms. We have been providing training for journalists in the media in disaster risk reduction, and we are working with other partners to increase awareness and to enhance capacity development for disaster risk reduction and conflict prevention. The ECOWAS Commission has also made substantial progress in the implementation of the Hyogo Framework for Action 2005-2015, as well as the Africa Regional Strategy for Disaster Reduction. We acknowledge with thanks our collaboration with partners, especially with UNISDR, for the assistance to ECOWAS in carrying out activities in DRR, mitigating disaster and reducing the vulnerability of West African people to the impact of climate change. In conclusion, I wish therefore, as we look ahead to HFA2, ECOWAS will promote DRR in higher education curricula, more use of science and technology, greater involvement of the private sector and civil society, and most importantly, mainstream DRR into various policies and sectors, including gender. To this effect, I look forward to the visit of Margareta Wallström, the Special Representative of the Secretary General, in Abuja next month to explore ways of strengthening and deepening our already very positive cooperation. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful for this opportunity given to ECOWAS to address the fourth session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction, and we thank you for your kind attention.
I would like to thank you, Ms. Diop, for your speech, for your presentation.